Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are discussing the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore. So, this poem is a part of Nobel Prize winning poetry collection of Rabindranath Tagore titled Gitanjali. In this poem, we see Tagore talking about a free India, an independent India, which is full of possibilities, which will be a perfect state. And he has some ideas about this upcoming independent country. And let us see what Tagore has to say about the independent India. So, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. So, he says, when the country would become independent, he want that India to be without any fear. He wants the people of India to live without any fear, and he wants the population of India to hold their heads very high, which means with dignity and respect. Of course, he wants all the people to have a dignified and respectful life. He says that because he knows that in the colonial period, people did not have any respect. Indian people were treated as inferior people, but now the situation has changed. The country is independent now, and the people are free to live as they want to live. Okay. He goes on to say where the knowledge is free. He wants the country to have knowledge for free without any barriers. Suppose that a person is not having enough resources to get educated. Even in such cases, the person should be somehow the person should be allowed to take the knowledge, to take education. So knowledge should be free for all people in the independent India, and that is the idea put forward by Tagore here. He goes on to say, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. So he understands that in a vast country like India, there will be many fragments will be there, many sections of society will be there which are not so comfortable interacting with the other sections, with the other half of the country. That's why he says, I do not want the country to be fragmented. I do not want the people of India to be divided among themselves on the basis of caste, color, religion, all other things which are there, which make India what it is now. He says that on the basis of that, I don't want the people to fight among themselves. Okay, so that's why he says, I want a country that is united, because in unity we can achieve great things. He goes on to say, where words come out from the depths of truth. So he wants an India that can speak for itself. But when that India is speaking, when the people are speaking, he wants those people to use the words very carefully. He says that those words should come from the depth of truth. So again, he is hinting at the idea of dharma, which is so closely woven with Indian philosophy and Indian way of life. He says that as we move forward from here, as we grow, as we progress from here, we should not forget our dharma. We should always be sincere, be truthful towards ourselves and our other countrymen. We should not try to deceive anyone just for the sake of achieving success. He says that the country India should keep this principle of truth, of dharma, as it is going forward from this day onwards, because now the country is becoming independent. He says where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. So of course he wants people to grow, to work, okay, but he wants them not just to work for the sake of working. He wants all the people, India as a whole, to achieve perfection. He of course wants people to succeed, but succeed not just by some other means or some deceitful means. He wants them to achieve perfection in whatever field you're working in. If you're a teacher, you should teach like no other teacher. You should have your own flavor while teaching. If you are an engineer, again you should build something to the best of your ability. So again, he wants the people to attain perfection in whatever field they are working or they are striving. He goes on to say, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert and sand of dead habit. So again, he says, as we move forward from here, again, it is a basic requirement that if the new day is shining, you have to forget about the past. forget about the previous day. So similarly, as we are stepping into a new future, a new era for India, we have to forget the dead habit. Dead habit is nothing but our age-old traditions, which are not so relevant now, which are not relevant at all now. Okay, but because of this tradition, because of these superstitions, we are being held back. Okay, this is working as a restriction now, as an obstacle in our country's growth. That's why he says we need to have a clear stream of reason. So this clear stream of reason is nothing but having scientific temperament. So because this is the need of the hour now, we cannot just be stuck in our beliefs, beliefs which are not so relevant now, not at all relevant now, and they can very easily be termed as blind beliefs because they don't have any scientific explanation. So to succeed, we need to catch up with the world. We need to have scientific temperament as India goes forward from here. After that, he says, where the mind is led forward by thee. So again, this is where the flavor of Gitanjali kicks in. So Gitanjali, as we know, Gitanjali are what? They are song offerings to the god. So that's why again, in this poem and in almost all the poems in the collection Gitanjali, the speaker is having a conversation with the god. In this poem as well, the speaker or the poet is asking for a country, that has all these things which I have discussed in the previous lines. He goes on to say that where the mind is led forward by thee. And again, he says, when the country becomes free, I ask you to lead our country. So thee here is nothing but the God. Okay, the God. He is asking the God to lead the country forward. Because if the country is led by the God, then perhaps nothing will go wrong or go wrong with the country. Nothing will go astray in the country. Into the ever widening thought and action. So I want you to lead us, to lead this country into the ever widening thought and action. So again, he is asking the people as well to widen their thoughts, to be more open-minded. And again, just having these open thoughts is not enough. So if you just have great thoughts, they don't mean anything if you can't translate those thoughts into action. He says that I want you to lead us into having great thoughts and actions as well, great actions as well, because only then the country will attain what the potential lies in this country. In the last line, the poet says, into the heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. So now he's again asking something from the God. He says, my father. So again, my father is again the God here. He says, let my country awake. So as my country will awake now into the freedom, in independence, let the country awake into the heaven of freedom. So this freedom will not be political freedom. It will not just be a religious freedom or a freedom to go from this place to that place. It will be freedom that will make this country into a heaven. So this will be a monumental moment in this country's future, because as this country will awake in freedom, we will have endless possibilities. There'll be no stopping for us, because earlier in colonial period, whatever we want to do, we had to take permission from again, there was no chance of taking permission because they used to decide everything, and we didn't even have the chance to say something in between. But now, as the country is sure to get freedom, he's asking the God to let this country awake, okay, into a heaven of freedom, the best possible freedom that we can have. So this can also indicate that we have to carefully use the freedom that we are getting. We should not misuse the freedom. We should not take this freedom lightly. Okay, so again, in this poem we see that it is a sincere request from the poet to the God. He's asking for all these things. He wants the country to be without fear and holding the head high. He wants knowledge to be free for all. He says that the country should not be divided into different sections or fragments. He says that whatever we do, it should come from a feeling of truth, a backing of truth. And he says that whatever you do, we have to do it to perfection. And again, he says that as we move forward now, we have to get rid of these old habits, these superstitions, and have some scientific temperament. And at the end, again, he goes back to talking to the God. He says, please God, please lead us into this widening thought and action, and let our country awake into a heaven of freedom. So this is where Tagore stops. I hope I have made at least some justice. I know this is a very difficult poem, but I hope I have made some justice while discussing this poem with you. So thank you so much for watching. If you want some other poem to be discussed on this channel, kindly comment that down. So thank you so much for watching.